Hey everyone, welcome back to Friday Crypto. My name is Chase. Today we're going to look at Bitcoin, the whole market update. This is our Monday update. So we're doing updates twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. So set your clock, set your alarm, be there, or nothing else will happen to you. So the weekly, what do we have? Well, last week we ended up printing a weekly hammer candle. So what is a hammer candle? Well, you want your wick at least 50% of the entire price action and a small candle body. So we got that. Now that is a potentially nice bullish candle, and it's certainly on the weekly, but you want to have follow through. So follow through, we don't want to be going red, we want to be going green. Could this still end up printing green? Of course, right? It's only the first half a day in our weekly candle, but we want to keep an eye on this. So we'll check it again on our Thursday update and see how we're progressing. But so all we have to do to turn green is, be a little bit higher, close higher than our previous candles. There's 31,290. So if we close higher than that, this would be green. So ideally, we want something maybe like this. You can see the weekly, not this candle so much, but this one, right? This candle would be great if we ended up closing somewhere, around 32, 33K. This would end up being another long wick. So we potentially could come down. Where could our bottom be? Well, we'll get into that. On this week, at least, where could we eventually look for a turnaround? So you want to be looking for maybe some kind of local low way back yonder. So 28.8. Are we close to that now? Yes. Or within $600 as of recording of that right now. So by the time you watch this, maybe you already have your answer. But that's our, basically that was our local low right there, right? So hopefully, if we want to have a greater chance of the bottom being in already, right, which nobody knows if it is or not, then I would like us to reverse before that and, come back up. If we close the week anywhere higher than 31.3, this candle would turn green and another nice long wick, and that could be another potential, at least a sign for a turnaround to the upside. Now let's zoom in a little bit to the daily and see what we got looking like. So for the daily so far, zooming in here, we've had a, our super, capitulation so far outside of the Bollinger Bands, which is what you want to see for a potential bottom. And then a nice recovery so far, all the way rally back up to the EMA 8. That's this red line here. And, we've rejected off of it so far. So, zooming out, we don't have a whole lot to go on except for these previous local bottoms. So that's all we have to go. So, like I said, this bottom, right here, 28.8. That's where we want to be looking for a reversal. That would kind of keep us right about there, right? So that would also keep these lows kind of intact as far as the closings, right? So that's where I'd be looking for. If we start to press outside of that and close below these, if we close under that, there's, certainly the odds would increase for more of a warning sign, at least, to more downside continuation. However, until that happens, you shouldn't be trying to anticipate the move. You want to just watch the charts and react with the charts and nothing more. Trying to use your brain to outsmart the rest of the market is usually not going to work well for you. Maybe you have personal experience with that. So watch the charts. That's kind of the area to be watching for on the daily. You have nothing else to go on, right? There's nothing else to go on based on this chart. All your moving averages are up here. Okay, so there's no really going to be support or resistance going on. You want to look for the local lows, and that's kind of where it is. So breaking under 28.8 would likely increase those odds to be more bearish before more bullish. However, until that happens, don't get too crazy. We're already down a little bit. So let's zoom into more to the 4 hour. And what do we have looking like? Well, so far we have a low here, right? Our lowest closing candles right here. And then we had a rally up, kind of, failed to overtake the 21 EMA. And then coming back down, we made a higher low. So far, so good. We want to continue this. So that low right here, 28.6. So as long as we don't close below 28.6 on the 4 hour chart, we can continue this trend. So if we do that, that would be a great sign that, we want to move back to the upside. And then what we want to do? We want to make a higher high. So there's our high. There's a higher high. So we got to take that out. That number right now is 31,290. So that would also, if we do that, that would also take out more than likely, right? Because it's kind of simmering down here. We want to take out the 50 MA. That's what this is. There's the 100. There's the 200. This is the 200 SMA. And, I use that on the daily and the weekly. It's not really that much of a significant factor, at least for the short term on the 4 hour. Okay. So, maintain the structure on the 4 hour. You want to start with the big picture, zoom in with the microscope and see what, the intraday stuff's doing. So far on the intraday, we're looking okay, right? We made a low, we made a high, we made a higher low, we made a higher high. We want to make a higher low. If you see us come down and print something lower, if we close a 4 hour candle lower than 28,763, then the odds would just increase of more bearish downside. That's all you got to go on, okay? So that's the 4 hour. Now, notice also another 4 hour hammer candle right here, right? Looking good. Small lower body, long wicks longer than 50%, and you got your rally. You got your follow through. So see this, take a good mental snapshot of this. Here's this candle, here's that candle. Remember the weekly that we started off with? That's what I would like to see that, right? It could potentially shape up to be looking exactly like the 4 hour. This would be great. If we did something like this on the weekly, we'd be looking pretty good. I'd say we may even make a charge to 40K if you take this chart and overlay it to the weekly, right? This is what we want to be doing. We came down here outside the Bollinger Bands again, just like we're doing on the weekly, and yet we ended up closing way up much higher, right? So that's what we want to be doing. We can make this and come up. I would love to close, 32, 33K, right? 6 days, 6.5 days from now. But just keep that in mind if we start to do that. So that's, we did that. And then the 4 hour now, or the 1 hour, excuse me. Zooming in even more, right? You can still see the stair steps, right? The low, the high, the higher low, the higher high, right? So this is a little bit more zoomed in than the 4 hour. So this is what we want to be watching. So far on the hourly, we're holding the past several hours, we're holding resistance at the 8 EMA. We need to overtake this in a hurry. We don't want to be coming way down here again, right? You got to watch that. And then again, watch your zone here. You don't want to take these out. So this is what you want to be looking at for the rest of today. We want to be closing above this zone here. So watch that. Otherwise, you guessed it, the odds would increase of us more downside if we can do that. And then guess what? If we do that, doesn't mean we have to go back to 20K or something, right? We just wanted to look for, if we take this zone out, move your zone down, right? Then you want to be looking for something like this. Then that's what you want to be reversing. So you want to take this a step at a time and not get too far ahead of the charts or of your own mind, right? Just the charts, all the news you need are right in the charts. Okay, the price is the price. All right, so that's Bitcoin kind of summed up here. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. So we're watching the DXY as well. We obviously do not want the DXY to bounce off of this, right? You can start on the DXY on the hourly and do the same thing, right? You don't have to always look at the weekly or the daily DXY. So far, maybe we got a little bit of a local top. If we get a drawback here, crypto can start moving. If we get a reversal and just continue to melt to the upside on the DXY, it's going to be tough for us to do much. If this ends up being a nice red candle, right, something like this, so we get like a 2% drop, it might not sound like much in crypto, but for the DXY, a 2% drop in a week would be very significant, right? So that's where I'll be watching. And you want to look for the same thing, same signs, but in reverse for the DXY. We want the DXY to crash hard. Rooting against the dollar, so to speak, but it would greatly help crypto in the long term when we capitulate on and start going back to the downside, right? This is, you can look at in history, anytime the DXY starts to reverse, that's usually when the next run in crypto starts on the bigger scale, right? This is the weekly, so just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the weekly, keep an eye on the daily. What would be a good sign, we talked about last video, getting 2 daily closes below that EMA 8, right? We had one there, and both of them snapped right back. So if we want to have a sustainable drop, maybe the 2 daily candles closing below the EMA 8 is a great start. So watch that on the DXY. So that's Bitcoin, the DXY, all of crypto kind of follows suit to Bitcoin for now. If you want to have exposure to, crypto, Bitcoin, stable coins is kind of the safest play you can make. Obviously, stable coins is the safest, but you got no skin in the game there, maybe unless you're earning interest. Bitcoin's, down 6%. The rest of the market's down more than 6%. So this is kind of the general consensus until Bitcoin turns more bullish. So to the upside on the daily chart, if you want to be super safe and not enter until Bitcoin's getting more bullish, a nice safe spot is going to be if we can overtake, the previous support that we hit, way back in, February all the way to May, right? So if we can flip this and hold it as support, then Bitcoin can have a more sustainable run to the upside. So that number is really going to be about 38K. We are ways away from that, but if you want to invert your chart, right, you look at this from a bullish side as well. Not just, you don't have to always look from this side. Flip it around and see, does that change your perspective at all? Then, like, you can see that if you break this to the downside, you're probably going to continue this direction, right? But since this is inverted, that's the positive side. So you can see that would be acting as support on the inverted chart and resistance on the regular chart, right? So hopefully that helps you open your eyes a little bit more. I appreciate you watching this long. If you have, thumbs up. Follow us on Telegram if you want more information. I do daily updates on Patreon, the silver group on there. We also have a free Telegram as well if you want to get a little bit more. That's what that is for. So let's do the car of the day. That would be the Lamborghini Huracan, but a little bit different. Got a little bit of a facelift. This is a 2023 Huracan Fluo Capsule. My best Italian voice. That's all I got. So new color, right? This is like a satin finish chartreuse. Fantastic, if you ask me. They also did a little bit of I don't want to say pen striping, but you can see the little bit of accent touches, right? So this is all carbon in the black, like satin carbon. Then they, highlighted this. Look at the mirror. These little touches like this, and these little the side skirts, little changes, little minor tweaks. But if you follow cars at all, you can start to notice subtle changes or big changes. Certainly for car people like myself. So I love this. This is my favorite look ever. Just all black wheels, right? No brake color, no center cap color. Just don't detract from the awesomeness artwork. So the Huracan Fluo Capsule 2023. All right, quote of the day. Silence is the sleep that nourishes wisdom. That's a good one. Think about it. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you on the next one. That'll be Thursday. If you want more updates than that, Telegram, Patreon, be there or be square. That's all I got. That's how cliched I am. Have a good one.